guy who beat you at the finish
At the finish line, yeah.
But did you beat you with a huge margin or just,
No, a few points. A
Okay.
few points, yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
So you get to go to Mangu. That's the most important thing
Yes.
here. Because I think also people lose the focus of, especially when you're transitioning from primary to high school,
Yes.
that you have to be on top.
Yeah.
But the data and the science shows that it's no here nor there.
Yeah.
It's good to be on top, of course, but
Yeah.
if by the way, there are so many reasons that can make you be on top or become
Yes.
second. People even get sick during the exam.
During the exam.
Or someone at home, things are not working out right.
Yeah.
Or there's something bothering you.
Yeah.
Maybe you broke up with some. There's so many factors that can lead you to
Environment,
lose the
yeah.
focus,
Yeah.
right? But doesn't mean you're dumb,
No.
right?
No.
And I've seen this over and over where people are pressurized. Like,
Yeah.
you have to perform.
Yeah.
And also remember now, I don't know what your take about CBC is, but right now, things are moving from, marks and points to more like, what are you good at?
I think it's a good shift.
Yeah.
It's a good shift. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Because we lose track of what life is really about.
Yeah.
And those kind of systems, the old systems.
Yeah.
And CBC creates an avenue to balance that out.
Yeah.
And hopefully if implemented well, it gives variety in terms of what you can do in life and where you can blossom,
Yeah.
And some of my friends when we went to the US, who are top, in high school, struggled.
Yeah.
Because of the difference in systems. You're used to just zoning in, reading, maybe cramming, just, it was for a purpose.
And just remembering.
Instead of
it.
understanding the basics. Why?
The learning.
Why? So if you didn't adapt very quickly in the US to understanding that you're learning how, and there is normally no perfect right answer in an open-ended question. You can reason it and have logic around it. Then some of them really struggled with the system. But I guess I'd say moving from Molo to Mangu was special for me because of...
Mangu is our whole vibe.
Yes.
We will take some time to talk about Mangu itself.
Yes. It was more special to me for a couple of reasons.
Yeah.
Because Dad went through school in Mangu.
Okay.
And my eldest brother-in-law, who's very special to me, William, also went through school in Mangu. And so he's the one actually who nudged and said Mangu, So
First choice, Mangu.
Yes. So I'm grateful to him, and I'm also grateful to Dad, and just being able to be part of that Mangu fraternity.
So did they prepare you mentally?
No.
So there was no like, in Mangu you need to focus more. You need to.
No, because I think every generation is different.
Okay. So there are things they will say, but you not hear them.
Yes. Every generation and every experience is different.
Yeah.
All I know is I got one of those Mabati boxes and dried them in the sun and put my stuff and went to Mangu. And it was so hot.
Yeah. Which month did you report there?
I think we used to report in January. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
maybe it was end of January or early
It was
February.
very hot.
Yeah.
That's all I remember. It felt like a desert,
Coming from the other side of town.
Yeah,
but you schooled here in, you said in Molo.
Yeah.
So from Molo to Mangu,
yes,
that means it's a climate
big
change.
difference.
Yeah.
Big difference from a cold environment to kind of hot and dry.
So you come to Mangu. Did you get monolized? How was that experience like?
It was not bad for me.
One.
It was not bad for me because coming from Molo, of course, Molo produces good students. So I had a lot of people I was familiar with. So I had buddies.
You have said that politely. Okay. So they were familiar faces.
Yes, they were familiar faces. familiar faces. I remember my first lockermate was Thuku, very fine gentleman. Not seen him in years. It's more than 30 years now, I think.
Yeah. Is he around? Or?
He's around. I think he's around.
Okay.
And then there was Buzeki, the gentleman who was trying to run for governor in
the Buzeki?
Yes, he was a year ahead of me.
Oh, I see.
Both in Molo and Mangu.
Ah, nice.
So I had quite a few familiar faces.
Okay.
So it was an easy transition.
It's more like welcome here.
Yes.
Welcome
then also we also had some family friends. I had a good friend that were very close with. So he was also there.
Yeah.
And then a few extended friends, that I knew.
So in a nutshell,
it was easy.
It was easy.
Yeah, it was easy. If anything, my fellow Form 1, some of them used to wash for me my shirts.
Chief, so that means you moralize some of these guys.
No, I learned the art of survival early.
That gives me a picture of who Kebaso is, to some extent. And did this happen throughout your high school, or is it just one off during first year?
No. It's just the first year.
Okay.
Just the first year.
Okay. Now, you've come from where you do exams through multiple choice, and you've transitioned to where you need to understand the concepts, you need to understand why, you need to describe, and some of these actually takes some, as much as you need to remember the content that you learned in class, some of these requires you to think beyond that content and structure it in a way that is palatable to address the issues.
To apply.
How was that transition for you?
For me, I enjoy that because I'm a curious human being by nature. Because it gives you an opportunity to think and apply, whatever concepts, whatever thought process, that you're trying to work through, that you're trying to understand, in the context and in different environments. How would it apply, And I think that's also what made me enjoy my studies also more in the US, both my undergrad and grad school, because there was a lot of thought given to any explanation and any application and justification. So it stretched your thinking.
And does it mean now you aced all your high school?
No. By the way, I did not do. I did very well in Mono. I did not do very well in Mangu.
Interesting.
I was the George Bush of Mangu. The C's. The C plus.
Were you
a C pluses and maybe a B minus here and there.
Yeah.
But as you learn, in life you go through different journeys, as you said. And then in the US, it was a different motivation because.
Wait a minute. Let's not go to the US first. So, what do you think contributed to you, relaxing, getting your guard down, and saying it's okay if I get C plus, it's fine,
Yeah, because I think for me it was more of just enjoying the process. Enjoying the process and learning. I might have maybe lost my focus a little bit on the books, but later on when I started paying tuition for myself in college,
what made you? What was that took away your focus?
The focus.
Or what do you think happened? Because
I've never thought about it.
Because I believe in life, if the focus moves from one thing, it goes to another thing.
It goes to another.
So there's no wasted energy in planet Earth, the way it is designed.
Yes, I think there was a lot going on. Maybe trying to understand the world, trying to understand my new environment. And then the new friendships.
Okay. Did you skip classes?
I did not skip classes. However,
But your mind was not there.
yes. However, and we had that period or time of the term when people would either stay up late or wake up at 4 a.m, to read. And, I tried to do that,
It never worked out.
It didn't work out, I love my sleep. So I love my sleep. It didn't work out, so I just enjoyed my sleep and went and got my breakfast and went to class at the normal time.
Yeah, like a boss. The reason I'm saying this is because I remember those guys. I also loved my sleep during high school, but the catch was, and I've talked to several guys who really still love to sleep, and they still aced it.
Yeah.
And actually the trick was when the content is delivered, make sure you get 100%
Yes.
in your brain and store it.
Yes.
So you don't need to struggle to. So during exam, you just go through that brain and some sort of something to remember.
Yeah.
Like you summarize everything and then go through it, and
Yeah.
you can remember most of the stuff, and you're okay.
You're okay.
So for you didn't want to wake up really high, and also during the day it was,
Yeah. I think I did just a little bit above bare minimum, in terms of effort.
Yeah.
I think if I would have put
didn't
a little
push
bit more,
yourself.
would have pushed myself a little bit more. But it didn't. I'm kind of glad it happened that way anyway.
Yeah.
Because if we transition now to college, then you're told, okay, here is your school fees for the first year, and then you'll fend for yourself for the other years.
So you have to be responsible.
Then there's a responsibility, and you have to kind of now focus. You become kind of like a beast. You get into beast mode. And then you cannot miss a class. I could not miss a class. And I absorb more when I'm listening.
Each class counts.
Yes.
I see.
Even if I had a flu, I had to go to class.
Yeah. Because the repercussions.
Yes, because then when before the exams, reading, as you said, is just skimming through and just a reminder because I got it in class. And then also, when you start paying, it's just like the marathon runners, I was having a very interesting conversation with a friend in Wasen Gishu.
Yeah.
A lot of these marathon runners, they have something that drives them. They have something that drives them.
Yeah.
Either they're from a single parent home or they came from very, very difficult backgrounds.
Yeah.
So they have a drive, And my friend and I, he told me our children can't be marathon runners.
I see. What
There has to be.
There's
So
truth
same
in that,
way,
yeah.
when I went to the US,
Yeah.
money was tight.
So you didn't have that comfort of your dad, your mom would come through.
No, they gave me the start and they said, you finish.
So in Mangu, you were a bit comfortable.
I was comfortable.
Anyway, you are in Mangu at the end of the day, right?
I was more interested in basketball
And you are there when
and
Mangu was
rugby,
Mangu.
and functions and visiting our sister schools.
Oh, I see. The funky, the Boma, the State House girls, and the rest.
And my mate and I, my good friend Yuji, we even started a magazine,
Which magazine was that?
We called it The Flash. So we used to write articles, and so there were other things that were distracting us.
So you became a creative.
We became kind of creative.
Yeah.
Creatives. Yeah.
Did you get another? Okay, this one is a controversial question. So did you get ladies? Because this engagement, you can only get one lady. You can only get so many of them.
Yeah. I think, let me politely put it and say that we enjoyed our outings. Yeah.
Every outing counted.
We enjoyed, every outing counted.
That's why you could not pay attention to this gibberish of biology, physics, and chemistry. Yeah.
Yes. So
Now I
when
get the true
you
picture.
came to class in hot Mangu, especially afternoon classes,
You're all sleepy.
were difficult. We used to doze off.
And reminiscence the functions that happened over the weekend.
Yes.
And look forward
Yes.
to the more that are coming.
You daydream,
in the coming weekend.
You daydream.
I see what you did there. But nevertheless, you did quite well during your KCSE.
Yeah, yeah, I did okay. I did okay, and I'm also learning now that I'm a parent, not to exert too much pressure
on the grades,
on my kids. On the grades.
Yeah.
Sometimes you fall into that trap, and try and reward hundreds and A's, and I think that's a mistake, that I'm consciously trying to correct that,
Yeah. Do you think it makes the children feel like they're never enough?
I think it puts pressure because Dad always used to tell me, do well, do your best. But he was surprised now because for many years, I used to be number 7. Then I had one bad experience with a very nice composition I wrote. I got a bad grade and I didn't like it. And now I started reading, and from then on I became number 1 or 2, number 1 or something.
This is in high school?
No, in primary school.
Primary school.
Yeah. So something triggered. Something triggered me.
Do you think like at some point you felt it's possible, it can be done?
No,
and then you're like, I am not going.
I was mad.
Oh, okay.
I was mad.
Okay.
Because we used to read Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew and all those things, and your creative juices would go and you'd write this composition that you think blew everybody out of, and the English teacher would give you 30 out of 40. That was not good.
Yeah.
But later on in life, I came to realize. There's a good friend, a classmate, she's out in the US called Jean.
Yeah.
And Jean always used to get good grades in composition. Until one time she invited me in Houston, saying, Mrs. Kehio is here. There was a birthday party, I think.
Mrs. Kehio was a teacher? Or?
Yeah, she was an English teacher. She was our primary English teacher. She was very good.
Okay.
And she was also the deputy headmistress.
Okay.
And then I came to learn that Mrs. Kehio was Jean's auntie, But anyway, she triggered me. I benefited, and I started becoming number 1. So, long story short,
are you
I was
saying
okay
there was
with it.
corruption going on or some tuition behind the scenes?
Well,
extra classes.
I can't really answer that.
But there's something. You never knew.
I never
she's
knew.
The auntie.
I never knew they were related.
Maybe she shared some tips, and maybe Jean decided to pick them
I
up.
never knew they were related. I was telling some of my classmates, my friends, did you know Mrs. Kehio was Jean's auntie?
You're like, what?
They were like, what?
My man.
Yeah.
Anyways, so you finished Mangu. Why did you decide you didn't get any invitation from the local, universities? Or
so after Mangu, we did have, we were looking at all options, and originally I really, really wanted to do aviation, right out of high school.
All your horses.
Yeah.
Now that you've mentioned aviation, you guys used to do it right from high school.
Yes.
Can you please share that experience? Because I heard that from another guest we had, and it was like,
yes,
there are high schools which already have aviation. I know if you need to do aviation, you need to complete your secondary school, go to the university, and then Kenya Airways will select a few guys who will go down to South Africa to do the aviation, and then come back and become first officers for some years, and then become captains. But I realized that Mangu already have these things.
Yeah, it was an option. It was an option.
There's also even a simulated.
We had a small glider in one of the. Would I say the labs or the rooms?
Yeah.
And at least with that, you could then understand all the basic aviation concepts,
Yeah.
How you generate lift, the flow of air, how you generate, how you go down, how you go up, how you go left, how you go right, and just the basics of aviation. And then from aviation, you got now into the deeper studies of, which line of aviation do you want to go to? Do you want to become a pilot? Do you want to become
Flight
an
engineer?
Then you choose whatever flavor of aviation, you were interested in.
Yeah.
But the basics were fantastic.
Okay. So for you, you're interested to become a pilot or?
Yes, I wanted to become a pilot. And this did not sit very well with Dad,
Did they call it a plane driver?
No. No, and this is where I have to be conscious as a parent now.
Okay.
For him, he just told me he didn't want to worry too much. Whether my son used to tell me my only son has landed or is up or has landed or is up. So. They were very wise in those days. Old people are very wise in those old days. So he said, "Oh, you want to do aviation now? Where do you want to do aviation?" So I said, "I want to go do aviation in South Africa." I'd done also some research, and looked at some colleges, potential colleges.
Yeah.
And I always remember, he slowly said, "Have you talked to your sister?"
Your sister by then was in
my
in
sisters
US.
used to be in the US.
Okay.
Yeah. And I said, no. I said, she has an interesting proposition, So I said, what is it? He said, okay, you can go study pharmacy in the US, I said, pharmacy? So I said, you can try it and see, and she'll help you get a car. So when I heard she'll get you a car, I said, okay, I'll go do it.
That's a good deal.
And aviation was off my mind.
Yeah.
So I ended up moving to the US with my sister Phoebe.
Yeah. So it was more like an invite.
Yes.
It was not like through the college.
No. I got an I-20. They used to apply and you used to get I-20s.
While here or there?
No, while here.
Okay.
While here.
Okay.
And you had to go to the embassy somewhere near Cobb Bank, and state your case, and then you be given the visa and you go as a student.
Yeah.
So I went down there with. I always remember this trip. I was telling Teddy this with my brother-in-law. Bitange, Dr. He just come back.
Oh, Bitange is your brother-in-law.
Yes.
Okay, that's new information.
So we went down there.
Professor Dr. Bitange name.
Yes.
Yes.
So we go there with Daktari, and I'm prepared. I have my document, a young Form 4 leaver student ready to answer the questions.
Yeah.
And all the time I'm standing there by the counter. The lady across is talking to Daktari, and they're talking about Lake Erie, they're talking about Minnesota. They're talking about all these things, And all I had is when is the young man going? Or when is he joining college?
But then he wasn't the Daktari. He was just another guy.
No, he was teaching at the university. I think he'd just come back from the US.
Okay.
And he was doing both teaching and the green beans. He used to do green beans business. I'm pretty sure he'll tell you that story. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
When they used to wake up with my sister at 5 a.m. to go fight for pallets in the airport, and ship out. Is it called Mishiris?
You need Bitange at some point.
Yes,
Yeah.
the real entrepreneur.
And I have my own preserved questions around some stuff. Yeah. Maybe he doesn't know it, but when we get him here, he'll be able to talk.
He was a very, very positive influence, for me also growing up.
Yeah.
And even now, it's still a very positive influence. And I always consult and check in and,
Very smart guy, that one. And he's so passionate about innovation, amongst many other things.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. So you got your visa, your I-20 without saying a word.
Without saying a word. I was a spectator. So I was a spectator to my visa.
Yeah. And the lady,
process.
was it an American or
She was an American.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
She was an American. I think she was from Minnesota. I think either from Minnesota or up north. She was from somewhere up north. So, and then I realized, the power of just communication. And just being yourself and being authentic, and I was just watching.
So you feel to some extent, Daktari vouching for you
was enough
from that conversation.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Then you could go with somebody to the embassy. Now you can't.
Oh, yeah. Now you can't even go there without a proper appointment. Even, I think, to some extent, if you already have a visa, you don't need to go to the embassy.
Yeah.
Things are changing very fast.
No, they're changing. With technology now, you just throw your passport in DHL and they send it back. And
You're
deal
good.
with them again in another 5 years.
Yeah.
So,
They have a way of... Do you know all these things is happening through software?
Yeah.
Maybe you're not aware of it. But that's a story for another day. I think they use things like LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook to run some algorithm to tell them, is this guy legit?
Yeah.
The patterns.
Yeah.
And they can say, oh, this guy, maybe the risk is out of 10, maybe it's
your
7.
suitability.
Or 2 or 1. Yeah, so you get your I-20.
Yes.
Off you go.
So I go out to pharmacy school
Yeah.
in Texas, small college called Navarro College. And the beauty about the US is you can change your majors,
Very fast.
very fast. So one term and I knew this is not my
This is not
cup
me.
of coffee.
There's too much chemistry and I didn't pay attention.
Yeah. It's not my. Then I thought about blood, about what. It's not my cup of coffee.